Hey guys, my name is Josh. So my question revolves around a potential issue I see from the general viewer's perspective going into The Mandalorian Season 3. I imagine not everybody who watched The Mandalorian watched the Book of Boba Fett. So for some people, they're going to remember seeing Grogu leave, and then suddenly he's back in the show. I imagine they'll do a recap before the first episode begins, but, I know a good bit of people who are probably going to just skip it. So when they see Grogu back, is there going to be a high percentage of confusion or complaints over time? I think I'd be pretty frustrated if I found out that I had to watch a whole other show before I watched Season 3. I doubt it affects the viewership, but I did see this being a potential issue when the Book of Boba Fett finished. Thanks, and with the reunion of Din and Grogu, may I say, bring on the family.
Right. Thanks a lot, Josh, for saying that in the Hall of Family. This kind of got brought up the other day, so I'm glad you called that in. And, I kind of took it for granted, the fact that I had it in mind that, hey, look, if people watched Mandalorian, they're Star Wars fans. They're going to watch all Star Wars things. So they probably watched Book of Boba Fett. I'm realizing that wasn't true. And I had a very stark reminder of that at home. As I mentioned to my wife, Ann, did you see the new trailer for Mandalorian Season 3? And she said no. And I played it for it. And she went, wait a minute. How is Grogu there? And I forgot that Ann did what I wish I had done and ditched on Book of Boba Fett after the first episode or two.
Isn't that a breach of your marriage contract for her not to see every single Star Wars?
No, she had to see the original three Star Wars movies. That
I know you got something in writing like that.
Yes. But I realized, oh yeah, it's true. There are, and I've talked to people in the past 24, 48 hours that didn't watch the end of Book of Boba Fett. Now, to be clear up front here, I thought the episodes with Mando and Baby Yoda were actually the best episodes of the season for Book of Boba Fett. That being said, it really is awkward and odd. Because take Book of Boba Fett out of it for a minute. You're watching Mandalorian and you get through season 2 and you get to this incredible finale and Luke shows up and does some badass Jedi stuff and takes baby Grogu in this heartfelt, sentimental goodbye between Din and Baby Yoda and all that kind of stuff. Throw it out the window. Hey, he's back. Wait a minute. What did they just undermine this incredible finale? Like, it reminds me a little bit, actually. I'm trying to think of a better example, but like one of the things off the top of my head, I remember the end of Iron Man 3 when Tony said, like, that's it, not gonna be Iron Man anymore. Go take the arc reactor out of me, And then all of a sudden, what was it, Age of Ultron next? Hey, no, I'm back. No, I'm Iron Man. It's like, wait, what? For anybody who didn't watch the Book of Boba Fett, you're right. And Rob, you and I both kind of rationalize it by saying, when Mando season 3, episode 1 starts, it'll be previously on The Mandalorian and or in the Book of Boba Fett, or previously on the journey of Din and Grogu. Then they're gonna highlight and show the effects. True, but it's gonna be jarring. I think
it is gonna be
that sort of thing.
It is,
and it does one thing that I really don't like, which is something that Marvel, for the most part, has been able to avoid until WandaVision and Doctor Strange Multiverse Madness, which is never make it a prerequisite to watch something else in order to watch your show. And Marvel always did a great job of it. There was really, I had a friend of mine stepped in, watched Infinity War before watching anything else in the MCU, was able to easily understand what was going on. Look, missed some of the nuance,
sure,
but totally easily understood what's going on. And this is kind of what started to kill the comic book industry, when it's like, before you read the next issue of The Amazing Spider-Man, you got to go back and read Uncanny X-Men #1, or else you won't get what's, it's like, wait, what? So it's a little thing. The audience will get over it very quickly. Everybody wants Baby Yoda back. I get it, but I agree. I think it's going to be a little bit jarring. What do you think?
I think it'll be jarring, but I think that they will have, they'll have to have a recap, because it wasn't just that Grogu left. It was that Luke Skywalker took him.
Yeah.
It's like, that's a huge deal. And if you've not seen that, people are going to be like, wait, Luke was on the Book of Boba Fett?
Well, because remember, the entire basis of season 2, the entire basis of season 2 is you have to get this child to a Jedi.
Yeah.
That was it. The whole purpose of the season was that. And it builds up and builds up and builds up, and it ends with him being delivered in the hands of the ultimate Jedi, Luke Skywalker. And in an afterthought, in somebody else's show, they undo the entire purpose for season 2 of Mandalorian.
It is true.
It's a little bit jarring, I think.
But you did get to see, I mean, how can you miss Luke training Grogu? We got to get back to that, though. Previously.
For 5 minutes.
I know. It's a
Oh,
lot.
wait a minute. You don't want to be a Jedi. Well, you probably should have told Din that at the beginning of season 2 before we got to this point. I don't know. I don't know. Look, at the same time, we all acknowledge, right? There's no point in having a Mandalorian show without Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda. Oh my God.
Yes.
Baby Yoda gone bad. I mean, you couldn't go back to Mandalorian because when that little finger came out in episode 1 of season 1, it's like it broke the internet and it brought in a whole new audience. I mean, there's no way they could do it. I don't know, Aaron. I mean, look, I do think audiences will adapt very quickly, kind of like recasting a major character. I think they'll be like, wait a minute, and they'll see, okay, this is kind of weird. What about, all right, whatever, we're on board. But I do think it'll be a little jarring at first. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, to one of the points that was brought up in the question, our friend in the chat, Mr. 47, brought up a good point when he said, hey, man, you can't skip the recap and then be mad that you don't know what's going on. I think that I'm not concerned about people who are going to skip the recap.
Oh, yeah, I think even if you watch you're going to go, wait, what?
Right. But I mean, let's be real. We haven't seen the first episode yet. And even though there's going to be a recap that talks about, what happened in Boba Fett, it's going to add all of those things in. They understand. They understand that people have a short memory span. I mean, personally, my long-term memory is so bad I don't even know how to pronounce the word long because I said long-term memory.
Long-term memory.
Long-term memory is so bad. So I appreciate a good wait. Where are we? Get me back in the world. I am quite confident that the first, 5-10 minutes of the episode is going to be not necessarily a recap, but an easing us back into the world and make it make sense for me. I think that they're going to do that. I have the utmost confidence in Lucasfilms that they're going to be able to get us all back on board. And by halfway through the first episode, we're not going to have any questions or concerns. It is funny that there's the whole purpose of season 1 kind of jumped the shark, so to speak. But you know what? They're still telling the story. We're still invested. We're still excited. And I think that they're trying to maybe do a little bit of a palate cleanser from Book of Boba Fett and just move forward with what they know is a winner.
I want to address something here too. One of our beloved channel members, Joey Bowie, wrote in the live chat and says, yeah, at the end of the day, it's your own fault for not following relevant Star Wars content. Can't hold your hand through it all. I completely, wholeheartedly disagree with that. Oh, you want to follow Star Wars? You have to follow all of it then. You can't just find a show you like and a character you like and follow it. Nope. You got to watch all of it.
Everything.
And that's what killed the comic book industry. Or at least one of the things that killed the. I disagree with that. You got to be able to compartmentalize it, like be a part of a grand universe, but you also have to compartment. Again, it's a remarkable thing that Kevin Feige was able to do with the MCU for like 15 years.
It's amazing. Well, I agree with you. I mean, you have to be able to watch whatever you want, whenever you want, and you shouldn't have to rely on a whole different show. But here's the thing. I don't believe that many people that are really excited for Mandalorian season 3 haven't.
I thought that
Book
too.
Of Boba Fett.
I thought that too, but I talked to no fewer
living
in person
with
than
one.
2 people yesterday that love Mandalorian, didn't watch Book of Boba Fett.
Wow.
And it's just like, ultimately at the end of the day, again, I think the audiences are going to adapt to it pretty quick. It will be a little jarring at first, I think, for some, but we'll get forward with it. But again, it's that principle of we're going to make it so or moving forward. So you're saying if for me to be allowed to enjoy this one show, I have to dedicate my time to watch all of your shows?
No, you can just watch 2 episodes.
I know, but I mean, moving forward though. So I hope it's not
yeah.
something they fall into. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? I think the viewers will be perfectly fine after a couple of minutes, maybe a little bit jarring at first. Maybe you think it'll have bigger ripples than that. I don't know. Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Guys, we want to thank a sponsor of this video, Mint Mobile. If saving more and spending less is one of your top goals for 2023, why are you still paying insane amounts of money every month for your phone bill? Switching to Mint Mobile is the easiest way to save money this year. As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile lets you order from home and save a ton, with phone plans starting at just $15 a month. Guys, I have told you before that when I was on one of the major phone carriers, I was spending literally 3 times as much every month, and switching to Mint Mobile couldn't have been easier. So for people just looking to save some extra money this year, Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. All plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and switch easily in just minutes with eSIM. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea.